What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. Today we're taking a look at this 2024 Toyota Grand Highlander. This is a hybrid limited finished off in coastal cream. MSRP is about $53,000. Let's go ahead and take a full look at it. Popping the hood, let's see what will power your hybrid Grand Highlander. So if we grab the hood latch, so as you'd expect, underneath the hood we have the 4-cylinder hybrid 2.5 liter. It makes 245 horsepower with 175 pound-feet of torque. It's paired to a CVT transmission and a full-time all-wheel drive system. With all that, curb weight's around 4,700 pounds. It runs on a 17.2 gallon fuel tank, and you're looking at 36 miles per gallon in the city with 32 out on the highway. Taking a look at some of the styling, I really like the LED headlights sunken into the bodywork with a blacked out design, and then a pretty cool chrome trim piece surrounding that front end. Got your Toyota badge, huge opening to provide cooling to the engine, finished off in a nice gloss black. You have all your parking sensors, some silver trim down below with black plastic, fog lights on the side, and a pretty sporty and aggressive look. I do like how sharp this vehicle looks. You're gonna see some sharp lines cutting into the hood. The hood itself is very flat and wide, so it makes this vehicle look pretty big, which it is a good size car. It's a full-size 3-row SUV, so a nice size bigger than the standard Highlander. You're gonna see the black material making its way around these wheel arches with a sharp design. You also got a set of 20-inch wheels finished in silver with a multi-spoke look. And then at the side profile, you got the LED turn signal along with the body color mirror caps and door handles. More sharp lines all throughout the side profile. Polished trim on the underside of the windows, and then all black surrounding the windows. We have those polished roof rails as well. And then for the side profile, it looks like a Highlander. However, you can tell it is definitely a lot larger. Nice sharp body lines throughout it, and I like how the rear end actually bulges outwards a little bit to give it somewhat of a sporty appearance. Up on top, we have a massive LED bar, and then you can see the integrated spoiler, LED taillights with a sharp look, and Grand Highlander is spelled out. Got your Toyota badge, and then a nice black bar connecting everything. Hybrid all-wheel drive logo, black plastic for the rear bumper with a little bit of that silver trim like you saw in the front bumper. So it's a good looking SUV. It has some nice proportions, good size all around. And then down here we have a button. We can take a look at the entire cargo area. So in back underneath this carpet, you can pull this up. We do have just a little bit of hidden storage space and a privacy cover. We have the JBL sub back here, and you can get a good idea of all the storage space. And then with the second row up, from here, you can grab the strap and pull the third row up, which still gives you so much space. Now these recline as well, so it's really easy to pull these really far backwards. So I like that amount of space you get. This is totally a useful SUV. You can definitely see all the space. We go ahead and close the power liftgate. Moving on to the interior. This one has a black leather interior, a lot of synthetic materials, plastic on the door panel, a little bit of padding. You have quite a lot of storage in the door panel. Not only right here where your grab handle is, but up here, more storage down below, and I like the manual sunshades. So these seats are gonna fold nice and flat like you just saw. You can get a good idea of some of the seating configurations. You can also then pull this up for your normal seat. And then you can grab the handle up here, slide these out of the way to give you good access into that third row. A little bit of a step. You're also going to see a grab handle with USB ports on the top, more storage space along with padded armrests, and this can seat 3 people. So by coming out of here, you can easily recline these all the way, pop the headrests up, and this is a good place to be. So putting this back into a normal position, I have so much room. I'm 5'11", and this is absolutely a useful third row. Of course, you can unrecline these a little bit, but nice to see just the configurations you're gonna get. Not a bad place to be. Now if I just grab this handle, you can push this forwards, get it out of the way a little bit, and let's climb right out. Moving the seat back into its position, let's take a look at the second row. We have the adjustable armrest as well, and you can recline these seats. So from the normal position all the way back a couple inches. We can even slide the seat forwards and back with the driver's seat at my height. Again, plenty of legroom in here, good visibility all around. You're gonna have heated seats, your different climate controls with fan speed and temperature, more plugs, 12 volt down below, tons of storage right down below in the center. You can also see your air vents and grab handles up above with storage on the back side of these front seats. So certainly no shortage of space in the Grand Highlander. Fantastic family SUV, definitely a great place to be. Moving on to the driver's seat now. Door panels finished off just like you saw in back. However, we have this plastic material that looks like wood, has a cool touch to it. All of your controls, memory seating, and then the Grand Highlander badge. We have power controls for the driver's seats as well, and then the perforations along with the smooth leather material. They have a good look to them. And then on the side you have your heated steering wheel, trunk release as well. And then hopping in, firing it up, being a hybrid, the engine doesn't necessarily turn on every single time, but we have a nice black leather steering wheel with some black trim. You also have controls on the left side for the screen and Bluetooth and audio, cruise control on the right. And then if we take a look at the screen, you can scroll left and right and get just a little bit popping up for trip information. You have all your power flow, and then cruise control right in the center. Now if we take a look at our drive modes, which are all over here, you can just tap any of these. We have our normal icon, eco, and then a sport. And then going into the trail mode, you can see the icon on that far left. Stalk on the right for all the wipers, and then headlights and turn signal on the left. More of this wood material, one of your air vents. Very clean looking dashboard. A little bit of this vinyl with more stitching. And then I like this storage in here with more of that wood trim. There's also a USB port, your massive touchscreen display. Pretty typical, like any Toyota, just kind of what you would expect. Phone integration, audio, and you can adjust some of the climates for front and rear. So it's nice to see all that. We have trip information as well. Energy flow for the hybrid system, and then any vehicle alerts. We have settings you can go into, and then going into reverse, you got a pretty good sized backup camera with an HD view. You can adjust that as well. Same with all of these guidelines. Climate controls are down below with heated and ventilated seating, dual zone temperature that you are able to sync. Then you can see a few more icons for defrost, toggles right here. You can sync everything with this icon, and then different zones. This one looks like it is a blank maybe. Then we have more air vents, start button, plugs, wireless phone charging, and more storage. And then more storage and cup holders throughout the center. We have your park and brake hold, traction control, EV mode, and downhill assist. A little bit of padding on the armrest, and I like how deep this is. This is over a foot deep. Huge amount of storage. Then you can see what you got going on inside. There's even more storage on the inside right here, and then a good sized glove box as you would expect. One last look at the interior. It's a nice place to be. It's not a crazy luxury car or anything. However, it's very nice. Good use of materials for the price point, and certainly lots of space and comfort. Got dome lights, you can also see a sunglass holder, and then garage door buttons underneath the mirror. All right, so setting off now in the Grand Highlander, sport mode, full throttle. And there's 55. So not necessarily the fastest. If you want to get the more powerful version, the Max has 400 pound-feet of torque with the turbo hybrid engine. So that one's a pretty cool option. It's about $3,000 to $4,000 more expensive than this if you go equal options. So honestly, not that bad to get that turbo. So for this one being the kind of normal hybrid version, it's not fast at all. However, it does get up to speed nicely. The EV system, you can tell in that slow speed, helps you kind of get up to like 10, 20 miles an hour before the engine starts taking over. So this is plenty, your average person. I mean, this is just a normal, it gets up to speed fine. The CVT is fine. It does what it needs to do. I do like being in this. It feels nice and high up. It feels very open and roomy. The hood is very flat and wide. It takes a little bit getting used to. Visibility is okay. That rear headrest kind of gets in the way of that third window. But honestly, with the mirrors and everything, it's a fine car to drive. Very roomy in here. The seat is super comfortable for the front seats especially. Armrests are in a good place. Steering is nice and light, very effortless. It drives really comfortably. The suspension is super smooth. It's quiet in here. I mean, you don't really hear any wind noise or road noise. If you floor it, I mean, you hear the engine a little bit, but it's just a comfortable car. And honestly, for 53 grand, it doesn't seem like it's too expensive, given it is a true 3-row SUV. It's a real good size vehicle. So you're not compromising or sacrificing to get a real size vehicle that gets good gas mileage and, you know, doesn't truly break the bank for what it is. So it's nice and pleasant to drive, honestly. We've driven it the good part of the weekend already and just kind of cruising around, and we've only burned 1/8 of a tank, driving maybe 100 miles, it feels. So we've done some good mileage in it, and it just seems like a good family SUV. If you're looking for something for the family, you know, the Sequoia is a bulky car. It's kind of big, not really something I would probably buy just because it's so bulky. This doesn't feel like that. This feels a lot more slim, a little bit more toned down and easier to drive, not quite as intimidating. Way better visibility and just an easier vehicle, I would say. And yet you still get all the interior space. Heck, in fact, the cargo area is better in this because it doesn't have the 3rd row that's up several inches. So this honestly seems like just a good, well-rounded 3-row. Build quality, as you'd expect, is pretty solid. Hitting those big train tracks, I mean, as you'd expect from a Toyota. The suspension is handling it, the build, everything about it. There's no loose ends, nothing really rattling or anything cheap like that. It's a Toyota. They're #1 right now in reliability. And the quality, it feels good. Only drawbacks, it's all plastic. I mean, this particular spec, you know, nothing's real about anything. It's all plastic, vinyl. It's all right. It looks nice enough, I would say. You can get the platinum trim levels or even the hybrid max, which does have a little bit more premium interior. So if you want to go a little bit more on the price point, you can get a nicer interior with nicer materials. But I'd say overall, it's a pretty, I'd say close to generic interior, just given it's all plastic. But at least Toyota does it in a good job to where everything feels solid, feels tough. You know, nothing looks ultra cheap. It just feels kind of what you would expect. It feels like a nice Toyota with all the room and a comfortable drive.